Damn, I mean, this has been the week of the quarterback right here on the channel. It seems like every day there is breaking news about the future of one NFL quarterback or another. We could see more movement with quarterbacks this offseason than at any other point in the history of the NFL. Adam Schefter over at ESPN, he is predicting 18 starters from last season that are either going to retire or be playing for a different team next year. Now, one that has been flying under the radar, up until yesterday anyway, was Dak Prescott. It has been unusually quiet in Dallas until this week. Haven't heard much from Jerry Jones. Haven't heard anything out of Dak Prescott's camp. Now, all of a sudden, speculation is rampant about what's going to happen in Dallas. Dak Prescott is a pending free agent. The Cowboys have one of three options. Franchise tag him again, sign him to a long-term extension, not likely, or let him walk in free agency and test the market, which is looking more and more likely. I've been telling you guys for the past 18 months here on the channel, Jerry Jones doesn't want Dak Prescott. He doesn't want him. If he did, they would have had an extension in place 2 years ago or last summer. Last summer, they were arguing over the length of the contract. Jerry Jones wanted 5 years. Dak Prescott wanted 4. Neither side was willing to back down. But the length of the contract was a moot point because Dak Prescott would have never seen the end of the contract anyway. If he was playing well, if he was winning, Cowboys were making the playoffs every year, he would have gotten an extension before the deal expired. And if the Cowboys continued to suck, like they have the last 2 years and much of the last 20 to 25 years, as soon as the guaranteed money on the contract was paid out, Dallas would have either cut or traded Dak. So the length of the contract was a moot point. It was meaningless. Jerry Jones just used that as an excuse not to have to commit long-term to Dak Prescott. And now here we are again, entering into the third offseason in a row without Dak locked in long-term in Dallas. And I believe we're on the verge of seeing a divorce between Dak and the Dallas Cowboys. In the past, when I've talked about this, I've mainly discussed it from the perspective of the Dallas Cowboys. If you've been following me here on the channel for a while, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of Dak Prescott. Anytime I talk about this, the Dak fanboys come out and accuse me of being a Dak hater. But today, I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm going to look at this situation in Dallas from the perspective of Dak Prescott. Because if I'm Dak Prescott, I don't want to be back in Dallas. I want to be playing somewhere else in 2021. I mean, just think about it. One of the biggest aspects of any relationship is respect. Jerry Jones doesn't have any respect for Dak Prescott as a franchise quarterback. Now, sure, he says all the right things in the media. Oh, our top priority is getting a long-term deal done with Dak. We want him to be our quarterback for years to come. We have nothing but confidence in him as our leader. That is all noise from Jerry Jones. It means nothing. If Jerry Jones really felt that way, if he really believed Dak was the answer at quarterback, this deal would have been done. It would have been done. Winning quarterbacks are hard to find in the NFL. This isn't a running back or a wide receiver that we're talking about. Those are a dime a dozen. Elite backs and receivers, they come through the draft every year. It's not the same with a quarterback. You find a quarterback that you believe in, one you think can get you to a Super Bowl in the playoffs every year, you break the bank for him. You don't squabble over the damn length of the contract. It took the Houston Texans 15 years to find a franchise quarterback. The Saints, they've been in the NFL since the 60s, 60 or so years in the league. In that time, they've had 2 franchise quarterbacks, Archie Manning and Drew Brees, and only one of them was a winner. This has been going on now for 2 or 3 years in Dallas. Jerry Jones does not respect Dak Prescott. So if that's the case, why the hell would Dak want to be back with the Cowboys? Go somewhere that you're respected, where they want you, where you can win. Because that's not going to happen in Dallas. Let me tell you why. If Dak is in Dallas next season, it's likely going to be on a franchise tag. Neither side is budging in negotiations on the long-term contract extension. If Dak is tagged again, the Cowboys are going to be on the hook for nearly $38 million, which would be a financial death sentence for the Cowboys. According to Spot Track, Dallas only has about $18 million in cap space for the upcoming season. Now, that's without paying Dak Prescott and 4 or 5 other key players that are entering free agency. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Dak would be paid that much money on a contract or possibly even more, so what's the difference? I'll tell you the difference. With a contract, Dallas can load the bulk of the money on the back end of the deal when they'll have more cap space in the future, which would give them the flexibility to free up cap space this year in 2021 to get players to improve their piss-poor defense that ranked near the bottom of the league in damn near every statistical category last year. You can't do that. You don't have that kind of flexibility with the franchise tag. That $38 million, it all hits your cap in 2021. So again, think about that from Dak's perspective. You're going to be returning to a team that's similar to what you had last season. A defense that can't stop anybody. You're constantly playing from behind. You've got to carry the team just to have a chance to win. Dak put up over 500 yards of offense and over 30 points 3 straight games early last season. That should easily be 3-0. That should mean 3-0. The Cowboys went 1-2, and they should have been 0-3 had the Falcons known how to defend against an onside kick. Now, who is going to carry the bulk of the blame for those losses? Dak Prescott. Guys like me will be on here every week talking about Dak padding stats late in games because he's always playing from behind, which would be the truth. So why would Dak Prescott want to put himself through that again? If he is tagged, the only way for the Cowboys to improve defensively is to sacrifice players on offense. However, that's a problem as well. Most of their key offensive players are locked in. Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. The Cowboys are committed long-term to all of them. Unless any of those players would be willing to restructure, take less money. And I just don't see that happening. At this point, the best move for Dak Prescott is to enter free agency and get the hell out of Dallas. There will be plenty of teams looking for a quarterback this offseason. I could actually see a tag and trade happening between Dak and the Cowboys. They hit Dak with the franchise tag and trade him somewhere else. That way, the Cowboys actually get something in return for him. They just don't let him walk away for free. And Dak gets a fresh start somewhere else. A chance to revitalize his career. Possibly even play for a team that respects him. I don't see him returning to Dallas next year. I don't see that as a real option for Dak Prescott. There has been too much damage done in this relationship between him and Jerry Jones. We talked about this same thing earlier this week with Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson. Once you reach that point in the relationship where there's just too much damage done, there's no turning back. I've actually seen this coming for a while, but I think we are finally at a point where divorce is imminent between Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. That's all for today. Hit that like and subscribe button. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Leave me a comment in the section below. Are Dak and the Cowboys headed for divorce? If you think they're not, is he going to be franchise tagged or given a long-term deal this offseason? And if you think they are headed for divorce, where do you see Dak playing next season? Let me know your thoughts. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Best way to contact me is by email at BTLKC84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys next time.